This week on This is Ruth Yole, embracing different seasons of your life. And there's a time and a season for everything. Overcoming challenges, sometimes just doing a lot, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. And actually there's a time I was feeling, do I have to work? Do I really have to work? Like, what would happen if I don't work? Your happiness is your business. Subscribe and tap on the notification bell for updates. Welcome to my world. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of This is Ruth Yole. Karibuni sana. And if you're new here, karibu sana, and make sure you subscribe and tap on the notification bell for updates. So today we are doing a chatty video. I was preparing and I was like, let us chat. It's been a minute. So how are you? How are you feeling? How is the year going for you? It's actually September, so we are 3/4 away done with the year. Have you checked your to-do list for the year? How's your vision board looking like? So today I'm just thinking about seasons and the different seasons of life. And there's a time and a season for everything. As Ecclesiastes says, there's a time to plant, a time to harvest, and just the different seasons of life, So probably you're in a season right now of rest, or a season of growth, or a season of transition, or just you're in a different season. And how do you make the most of that? And how do you enjoy and embrace the season and make the most of it? And for me, I'm thinking life is now, and we need to live and make the most of today. So I would like to share 5 ways in which I am embracing the different seasons of my life. So number 1 is accepting the season you're in. There's a time, first of all, besides career and personal growth, I also do ministry, so I sing. And there's a time in my life that, actually 3 years of my life, that I was not in ministry. Like, I took a break. It was kind of, not a sabbath, actually it was a break. And I took this break because I wanted direction. I felt that I was in a rut. I was just going, I was just serving, and I wasn't just saying, I was doing a lot, And so I just took this break to just think about what I truly want and I truly love, because I've been born and brought up in ministry. I've served, and for me, I just wanted to now do things that I love, that are I'm passionate about. And so I took this 3-year break, and let me tell you, it was one of the best things that happened to me, because I eventually discovered that I love singing, and that's one of the things that I'll do for a long time. And I also dropped a few things that I was doing that was I wasn't too passionate about, and also I was feeling that it was also, they were also consuming a lot of my time, and I needed balance. And it was such a relief, and it also made, I also realized I also found out what I love doing, and I'm grateful that I took that break, because now when I serve, when I sing, I know it's from my heart and it's something that I'm passionate about. And I also, in between singing, I don't serve all the time, so I also take a break, which is, I think, very important. And also from that, I also learn not to feel guilty. Sometimes, especially if you're in ministry or you really are passionate about what you do, sometimes you feel guilty if you're not doing what what you're accustomed to doing, and it's I should be working right now instead of resting. But I'm telling you, it's very important, and it gives you direction. So accept the season you are in. Whether you're in a season of rest or growth or transition, or you have a new responsibility, accept that season and thrive in that season, because seasons come and go, and you're in that season for a reason. Number 2, fully enjoy the season that you're in. Currently, I feel career-wise that I'm in a season of really pushing myself, growth, and I really am loving this season. Of course, it is a lot of work. I mean, working over the weekends, pushing myself, sometimes sleeping at 12 o'clock or even 1, sometimes just doing a lot, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. And actually there's a time I was feeling, do I have to work? Do I really have to work? What would happen if I don't work? But let me tell you, the only way you are going to be successful is if you work hard, unless of course you steal or do other things that eventually you'll be caught and you'll pay for. But really, you have to work, for success. And it also, in relationships, in every other aspect of life. So I am currently embracing and owning it. I'm loving and I'm really grateful that my business is growing, and now I'm now seeing the fruits of the effort that I put. There's a time when my business was young and I was learning like a lot, and sometimes I'd feel invisible. I'd be like, is anyone really noticing what I'm doing, And I'd start also, like, there was that temptation to compare myself with other people, but I'm so glad I kept pushing. And I think sometimes, especially if you're in that season where maybe you're feeling invisible or overwhelmed, take it a day at a time and just know that no effort is wasted. No effort you put is wasted. I'm so glad. Right now, the things that I used to do and they looked insignificant, and I'm so glad I did them, And also I'm glad I could make mistakes then when I was feeling invisible. There are mistakes right now that would cost me a lot, in my business. So enjoy every season. Right now, if I tell my younger self, my startup Ruth Yole, enjoy that season, thrive in that season, and there's a time that will come that you'll be more visible. And I'm grateful for growth and success, and right now where I am in life. So enjoy every season you are in, because seasons come and go, and make the most of today, because this is what you have really right now. I'm also in a season where I'm really loving, like, taking care of myself, and just physically, emotionally, spiritually, and even psychologically. And I've also been doing a lot of internal work, like just besides prayer and reading the word, which has really nourished me, reading and listening to podcasts, and just dealing with myself. It's like processing my emotions. And let me tell you, that has really helped me, especially whenever I feel overwhelmed, just taking the time to actually ask myself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling angry? Why am I feeling stressed out right now? What can I do about it? And I feel like that really has helped me become more balanced and even handle, especially capacity of work, and generally just made me a happy person. Like, I'm happier now and I love myself a lot. I've also realized that honestly, your happiness is your business. Like, no one is going to make you happier, and the amount of happiness is up to you. Like, you control how you feel about yourself. You control, even if the situation is how bad, like, it's up to you to choose whether to be joyful, to look at the glass as half empty or half full. So I've also been doing a lot of self-work, and I'm really loving myself a lot. I honestly love me right now. Like, I love myself a lot, not in a selfish way, but I really love me. And I think that's something I want to continue working on, and loving myself in every season of life. Number 3, I'm learning that the grass is greener where you water it. In life, in every season of life, you have to put in your all. Like, if you're resting, fully rest. If you're growing, really grow. If you're developing something, really work on it. I'm learning that success doesn't come easy. You have to work hard. There's no shortcut. Like, you really have to put in the work. So thrive in your season. Again, like I was saying, sometimes I'm like, why? Like, initially I was like, why do I have to put in the work? Like, do I even have to work hard? Like, I know people who are not putting as much work and they're okay, but I learned that it eventually pays off. There's no success without hard work. You have to put in the work. So now I have changed my attitude towards work. I'm more like, I want to work. And especially when I feel like, when there's a lot to do and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have time, I need to sleep, I'm sleepy at that time, I tell myself I love work. And let me tell you, just telling myself that has changed the way I feel, and I have a positive attitude towards work. And so in every season of life, even if it's not a pleasant season, tell yourself that there is a reason. And as long as you know in your heart of hearts you've done your best, there's nothing more or less you can do about it. Just enjoy it and thrive in that season, and try looking for things that are positive about that season. Because let me tell you, even I'm so glad for their seasons in my life, or times when I wanted something so bad, I wanted things to work out, and in that season I felt like God was denying me my happiness. It's like, God, why would you withhold this thing from me? Why? But right now I'm like, oh my goodness, that was protection. I thank God that never happened, because if it did, I don't know how I would have handled it. So I'm learning, even negative things, to have a positive attitude towards them and go through them. not all seasons of life are going to be fun and enjoyable. There are some which will be tough, but also in the tough moments you grow. So having a positive attitude and putting in the work and saying, okay, I'm going to push myself. And success also is not easy. Embracing challenges and deciding, you know what, I'm going to have a positive attitude, I'm going to thrive. And let me tell you, you eventually see why you had to go through it. And also I'm learning that also even in dark times, the moment you embrace, the faster you embrace, the sooner you get out of that place. Especially sometimes we go through tough seasons because also our character needs to grow. So the sooner you embrace that, the faster you get out of it. Sometimes it's just an attitude check. Sometimes God is just strengthening us and building our attitude and our character for a better promotion, for a bigger responsibility that will require our character to be more developed, and so that we can be able to handle it. Number 4, prepare for the next season as you feel led. So we all have aspirations, in as much as you're in this season, probably you're hoping and aspiring for something in the near future or in the future. So probably you want a promotion. So like, what towards it? What do you feel you need that will increase your chances of being promoted? Say you want to get married. How can you prepare yourself so that you are the best partner? Probably you want a child. Like, what can you do right now so that you can be able to be ready for that child? And I feel like we really need to prepare ourselves. It's very important. Preparation is as important, as the actual thing happening. And like for me, I mean, something as simple as is it simple? But something as, just something like moving out. And I remember I really wanted to move out so badly. And I was dreaming of moving out. And I realized that I had to prepare myself. So what I did, I had planned to move out in Jan 2020. So what I did, I downloaded calendar, like the calendar. So from October to December. So each month had its own like a slot, and under each day I wrote what I needed to do to move on, like to make money. So if I need to call a certain client, what I needed to do. And let me tell you, I saw it actually worked. And by the time December, like we're getting to December, I had stuff. I had my oven, I had gathered enough things to move out. And also that inspired me to, even when I moved out, definitely I had to look for more work and more opportunity, because now I have rent that needed to be paid. I was buying my own food, I was cooking for myself, and things you realize when you move out that you're like, oh my goodness, this needs to be done. And one thing the joke about moving out is the very basic needs, the things that you normally take for granted, and the things that really consume a lot of your money, and take up a lot of your time. So I had to now think, okay, around here, I moved out. We have to thrive in here. So what do we need to do? So I also had things I needed, like under each day, people to call, etc. And that also led me to having a vision board. And now, like, seeing things happen, I'm like, wow, I just needed to write things down and believe and work towards them. And I think also to add on to that, just believe. Sometimes you don't know how things are going to happen, honestly, but just put in the work, write what you need to do, and believe. And God is faithful. Like, things actually happen, and you realize, oh my goodness, this is happening sooner. And just planning, there's beauty in planning, because also it keeps us focused, and you're like, I'm working towards this and I want to achieve this. And finally, move on. I think that's one thing I've learned. And the sooner you learn to move on, the more things happen faster. And there are good times and there are bad times. Sometimes we are tempted, especially to hang on to the good times and be like, oh, it happened, and you're reliving that moment. One thing I learned about life is like, life is moving on. There's the next assignment for you. There's the next job for you to do. And you can't hold on to things that happened, and you can't be like, oh, I used to be this person, I used to do this. Life is moving. And I feel like there's a challenge every single day. There's something you need to do every single day. And also, bad times don't last forever. Say maybe a few months ago things weren't going on well for you, even maybe the last year, or probably till now. It's like there's still hope. There's still hope in the next 3 months that things could happen. I am a firm believer. I'm a positive thinker, and I have faith. And things don't last, especially negative things don't last, and God is real. So we move on. Like Paul said, moving on, forgetting what is behind me and moving ahead. There's a new child, and you're not on earth forever, you know. We are here to stay for a while and we move. So I believe that there's abundance and we're here to thrive, and believe that there's a lot of abundance for you. And I'm here, I personally want to experience all the abundance there is, all that God has planned for me. That's my purpose on earth, and that just keeps me going every day. So those are my 5 tips on how I am embracing the current seasons of my life, and I'm learning. I mean, this is just, I'm a work in progress. Every day I'm learning and applying what I'm learning. So, and also life is now. Every time I remind myself is that life is happening right now, and let me make the most of today. And today I've been given, it's a gift. So learning to make the most of today and believing that everything that I hope for and everything that I pray for and desire that it will happen beautifully. I normally say, for me, like, my plans and my dreams are like sketches, and God is the one who brings that sketch to life. Like, I have seen God's faithfulness, and He is faithful, and He'll definitely give you the desires of your heart. So don't worry, don't panic, you know. Relax and learn to enjoy where you are right now. Rest. I think one thing I'm learning is to rest, honestly. Resting and just taking the time to just be like, okay, today I'm resting. Today I'm taking in the beauty of the day, and I get rejuvenated and I'm able to move on to the next task. So comment down below if you've resonated with some of the points what I have shared today. Comment down below, how are you making the most of your season? How are you embracing the current season you're in right now? And if you're new here, karibu sana, make sure you subscribe and tap on the notification bell for updates. Also, if you haven't watched, go ahead and watch previous videos, beautiful recipes and conversations and fashion, and I believe you'll totally enjoy. Thank you so much for staying with me up to the end of this video. Until next time, bye. Mwah.